Check it out. All these caps on the table. This is time for All Caps presented by New Era. Guys, how great of a guest was Logan Ryan?
Awesome.
Oh, he was awesome.
Gosh, he was incredible.
I feel like he was an all-time guest.
Yes.
The Tennessee
He was
Titans
awesome.
flying high after putting the kibosh on the Cleveland Browns. So he said yesterday on our show that the Titans were working in silence before that big win on Sunday. So grab the cap of the team or the player that's working in silence before grabbing a headline in week 2. Who's a silent storm waiting to break?
All right. Okay.
I like the netted hats. Falcons, Saints, Bengals.
You've never looked more like a 5-year-old. So you were like...
When you wear the netted hats, Kyle, you look very Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, really?
Where's
I'm
the
going for
Niners at?
Kutcher.
Malibu's most wanted.
All right, all right.
Niners.
Peter, just grab the roped hat. Those are the ones you like.
Here's your
I honestly
Niners.
can't find mine. I'm not even joking
Nate's going with the
anymore.
Niners-Bengals
All right, go ahead, Nate. Go
matchup.
ahead, Nate.
All
This
right.
is good TV.
I got it.
This is great TV, Kay.
What do you
Let's
got?
get right to it. I'm going with the 49ers, a team working in silence. And I have to do this because I need to apologize publicly to the 49ers fans. All offseason, I spent saying you guys are at the bottom of the NFC West and you guys have too many struggles and injuries hit you every single year. And we don't know what the defense is going to be. We don't know what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be. And you know what? You guys went out there and you're 1-0 with a chance at 2-0. And you had a league-high 4 takeaways. I respect what the Niners are doing. So working in silence, there's a lot of teams being hyped, and you weren't one of them. But guess what? You're putting in work. Niners, I salute you.
They've been spending the week in Youngstown, Ohio, which is where the York and DeBartolo family is from. So they went from Tampa to Youngstown all week in the community, and they'll play the Bengals in Cincinnati on Sunday. Already an extended road trip together. That's how that team rolls. What's your favorite Quentin Nelson soundbite that we've heard?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He
ever.
screamed once.
I've never heard one.
I like his basketball highlights.
I don't think he's ever spoken. I don't think we ever hear him. I'm going with the Colts. This guy dominated week 1 in the trenches, laying out players from the Chargers. Absolutely a beast. Yesterday I did a whole highlight reel on offensive guard highlights because he was that good. They didn't get the win. They play the Titans this weekend in already a big AFC South matchup. Colts don't want to fall behind 0-2, but Quentin Nelson, who dominated the line of scrimmage and is the first offensive guard ever to dominate headlines and highlights, is going to be my guy to watch. He works in silence. You will not get a soundbite, but you will get highlights.
Great. You have a little man crush
I
on
do.
Quentin
I love
Nelson.
it.
You really do.
There's a Jersey Shore thing to him that I love. He's a Redback Catholic guy.
How
I
about
know
Colts
those
owner
guys.
Jim Irsay tweeting Peter's take yesterday on Quentin Nelson?
We'll take it. What's up, Jim?
I didn't see that.
All right, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to look at J.J. Watt. We talked about it. He did not have a big game when he needed to in the opener and on and on and on. I just look at J.J. Watt. They play the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew is having a week, all right? He's the big ringer profile. Everyone loves him, and he's Gardner Minshew in the second, but his father's not named Gardner, so there's all this intrigue. J.J. Watt's got to wipe the floor with this dude. Enough with the Gardner Minshew. I got more defensive players of the year than you have games started, which is 0. J.J., enough of this. Wipe this guy the hell out of there. Go get it, 99. We need you.
All right, selfishly for my fantasy needs, you can pick a defensive player if you want, though. Grab the cap of the team player, even the coach, guys, who will have the best all-around performance in week 2.
Okay. All right. Anybody see the Cowboys?
Give
over
me-
there? What's up, fam?
They don't usually just keep the Cowboys one in your
Christian
pockets.
McCaffrey. It'll probably be him. Hours from now on NFL Network, we'll be talking
They
Bucs,
probably will be
Panthers.
McCaffrey. There it is, Nate. Go for it.
It's already close by.
I'll go first with this one.
ahead.
The last time Todd Gurley, quote unquote, played against the New Orleans Saints, we saw him on a motorcycle, or an exercise bike, an exercise bike on the sideline. This was the image. This was the NFC Championship game. This
I think
is where
C.J. Anderson was on the motorcycle that day.
C.J. Anderson was rolling, and so were the rest of the Rams. And Todd wasn't as big a part of it as you might have wanted from a guy with a C on his chest and who has, NFL Offensive Player of the Year credentials. He didn't get to be a part of that big NFC Championship win down the stretch on the field because of whatever was going on with the bike. I think this weekend in LA, Sunday game, everyone watching, rematch of the NFC Championship, we get this version of Todd Gurley, which was the second half in which he threw the Rams on his back last week and said, we're going to win this game in the trenches and I'm going to carry us there. Gurley was awesome in the second half after a very questionable first half and a very questionable Super Bowl and a very questionable last time they played the Saints against Championship. I think big day for Gurley on the home field against the Saints.
Yeah, wild.
Getting that goal line work?
Potentially.
Need some
Dagger.
touchdowns. All right.
What are you drinking? Salt water?
Just kind of drink my tea. Listen,
Not now.
Listen, the summer was crazy for Todd Gurley, but it was also crazy for these Cowboys because it was all about these contracts, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, and of course, Jalen Smith and Ezekiel Elliott gets paid. but now everybody's good. Dak Prescott went off. When I say he went off, 400 yards, 4 TDs. He's going up against the Redskins. I'm telling you right now, my guy Dak Prescott will go off once again. The Redskins gave up 300 yards, 3 TDs to Carson Wentz. So Dak Prescott's sitting there like Zeke after he gets going, saying, feed me, feed me. I'm going with Dak Prescott.
All right. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
That's the perfect time to drink when the
Nate's
camera's
first
on.
time on television. Hey, Billy Bush will be very disappointed in you.
Back to drinking the coffee.
All right, so I'm looking at
early
the
in the
NFL
morning, bro.
sack leaders. It's Devon Kennard, Benson Mayowa, some great players. I'm looking at 52 right here. You ever run into one of your former bosses, maybe one of your teachers in college or high school? You always want to impress them, see how well you're doing, and kind of stunt on them. That's what Killamac's doing this week against the Denver Broncos with Vic Fangio on the other side of the ball. He's going to put on a show. Plus, this is sort of a pass rushing summit in this game because you got Vaughn and you got Chubb, Leonard Floyd on the other side. Khalil Mack did not have a sack in the first game. Let me tell you, he was the best player on the field. He was incredible. 5 tackles, a lot of sacks forced. I think he is going to put on a show. I think he will be the sack leader by the end of the game. I'm telling you, huge night for 52.
That's all caps. That one looks great on you, kid.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. It's the wild turn.
Much more Good Morning Football ahead. We are hours off from the season premiere of Thursday Night Football. It's Bucks. It's Panthers. Who are you putting in your lineup, though, for fantasy? The thrill is Quan. How do they handle him moving forward? Hopefully, just all the carries, right?
Is he better than McCaffrey, Kay? I can't
I
figure
just
it
think
out.
they should put him on the McCaffrey plan.
Okay.
Every snap, every
like that
touch. And Aaron Rodgers wants his fans to act a certain way in Lambeau. Guys, how does he want them to act?
Yeah, I heard about this. This has actually cracked me up.
I actually haven't heard of it. I know Sean Payton was really thankful.
The NFL Way to Play recipient, the honor goes to a player who exemplified proper technique in Week 1. And it's a Dallas Cowboy, as you might assume. The winner receives a personal letter from the commissioner as well as a $2,500 donation to a player's high school or youth program of his choice. The Way to Play recipient for Week 1 is guard Zach Martin.
Woo!
All right, a guard. Let's break this on down. Let's check him out and show you exactly what he did right. Here he is. We're going to highlight the guard so you know exactly where he is. There's Zach Martin. He's actually going up against Kareem Martin. He's going to engage in shed, and then he gets to the next level on DB Haley and just drives him right into the ground. Listen, you can be physical, you can be nasty without having a penalty being thrown. That right there is how you do it. We get a screenplay to Ezekiel Elliott. You'll see him once again. You shed, you find the next level, and then you ride him all the way to the sideline without pushing him in the back, without grabbing him, without using your helmet. There's proper ways to block the old school way without a flag being thrown. So congrats to my guy, Zach Martin, who is a guard. Usually it's a DB or a wide receiver on a big block, but we love seeing this. There's a way to play. We want this to go from the NFL down to college, high school, and, of course, trickle down to Pop Warner.
Awesome.
What has he won, Bob? A $2,500 donation is in his name to any cause of his choice. So awesome stuff, and congrats to Zach Martin on the award. Nate's going to be announcing who the winner is each and every week of the season. We cannot wait to find out who the NFL Way to Play recipient is for this coming week.
That's right, Kay.
It is the 100th year of the NFL. Will Selva's got some news for us out in Culver City on this Thursday, hours before Thursday Night Football.
I cannot wait for that to come right here on NFL Network. Meanwhile, we got to get you an update on some injuries. And as we know, the injuries are starting to pile up for the Chargers. The latest one involves a player who missed all of the 2018 regular season. Tight end Hunter Henry suffering a fracture to his left knee. It happened in the win Sunday against the Colts. Henry will continue to be evaluated. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting the team will not place him on injured reserve. The Chargers believe he'll be out at least a month. Making matters worse, wide receiver Mike Williams is dealing with a knee injury and could miss Sunday's game against the Lions. The Jets also dealing with an impactful injury. Jets wide receiver Quincy Enunwa will miss the rest of the season with a neck injury. Enunwa missed all of the 2017 season with a neck injury as well. He dealt with ankle injuries last season. He had signed a 4-year extension worth $36 million back in December. An injury did not keep running back Adrian Peterson from starting in Sunday's loss to the Eagles. He was healthy. Peterson was just inactive for it as head coach Jay Gruden decided to go with Darius Geis instead. But Gruden is turning to all day with Geis's knee injury. Geis expected to miss a few weeks, by the way. Gruden not worried, though, about Peterson holding a grudge.
We've talked. He's in a good place. You know, nobody's happy if you're the backup or not dressing up, but you are on the team, and when your number's called, you roll. And Adrian's a pro, and I feel very good if his number is called this week, he'll be ready to go and play very hard, and he'll be Adrian Peterson.
Now, asked about whether Peterson would be inactive again in the future, Gruden responded, quote, "We'll worry about that when they're both healthy again, if that decision has to come again." So it sounds like, okay, guys, that if the opportunity arose, he would potentially do it again.
It's so weird.
What's weird, Peter?
Adrian Peterson is Adrian Peterson. I don't care. You know, it's like, it's nuts that they were like, well, we needed extra.
I know.
I still don't understand it, and yet they looked great up 17-0 against the Eagles early. But I bet you Peterson comes out and has 100 yards this week. Like that's.
I think it's 130.
Adrian Peterson.
I know. He's first ballot. He's God. 130 yards.
I think there's a record on the line for Peterson as well. I'm not sure whether it's touchdowns or yards, but there's a Jim Brown record that he could beat sometime this season. He could even do it in week 2. That's a tease. I'll hit you guys with that. Tomorrow, though, is the series premiere of the NFL 100 Greatest. Some of the most iconic voices, all of your favorites from all walks of life counting down the greatest moments, the milestones, and the people who've shaped the game over the past century. Here's a look at tomorrow's episode, counting down the 100 greatest plays.
Oh my goodness, the Eagles are alive.
I was in shock watching it, just hoping.
All the way back, one at a time, Deshaun. 14 seconds to go.
The game's on the line, the stadium's going crazy, the pressure's enormous.
Matt Dodge cannot allow Deshaun Jackson to run with the football.
Jackson bobbles it and now has to try and recover. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Holy
Deshaun Jackson still not in. Unbelievable.
ridiculous. There's a certain level of excitement that you don't feel as a player.
And the Eagles have just pulled off the most remarkable win I have ever seen. This is Miracle in the Middle East #2.
Don't miss it. It's the series premiere of the NFL 100 Greatest, presented by Land Rover, tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, only on NFL Network. We were talking Adrian Peterson. It's 106 touchdowns. He has one more. Moves him ahead of Jim Brown.
Oh, look at that.
We'll see if he can do it. He's certainly one of the greatest, and he certainly is too at his best. Yeah, Camden threw deep once in week 1. How worried are we about his shoulder? We'll find out hours from now on Thursday Night Football. And Melvin Gordon's missing in action. Triggs, I feel like we forgot about him, and I'm a little sad.
Out of sight, out of mind. Austin Eckler, hello.
I'm all in on Eckler. Let's go.
What happened to the air guitar?
I don't know. I thought he was going to break it out.
What happened?
Being a Western